Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sunless Skies. In the last episode we were on our way to the Brabazon Workworld, I think, so we're going to carry on with that. But I think the first thing that I would quite like to do here is fix my ship, since it is distinctly damaged. I believe we have to go to the Steam and Sapphire yards. We do. Ooh, there's also investigate rumours of an underground railway. Let's start with repairing my locomotive. Fully repair? How much is that going to cost? 87? Yeah, okay, that's worth it. I should probably pick up more fuel and supplies and stuff as well. In fact, did I empty my bank? Empty out my cargo into my bank? I did, okay. Let's go back to the Steam and Sapphire yards, and let's investigate rumours of an underground railway. You've heard of a less than legal organisation operating out of the Steam and Sapphire yards. They pay for information and may offer work to the bold, the clever, and those willing to displease Her Majesty. We can investigate the organisation myself, using 2 savage secrets. You have gathered secrets on your travels. 2 of them offer clues to the Yard Gang's identity. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. With a little sniffing around, 2 pieces of information become relevant. The name of a stalwart bookkeeper, the number of the engine shed where he keeps his office. This man is, you are certain, an agent of the group you seek. You decide to pay him a visit. We've heard about the new street line. He occupies a tiny, smoky office cobbled together from corrugated iron sheets in the back of one of the engine sheds. It is stacked with nicotine-stained account books and boxes full of oily brackets. The bookkeeper looks up as you enter and gestures to a chair. You can chat with the bookkeeper. He offers you a cup of tea, savagely stewed and swimming with sugar. Learn how he can be of use to the new street line. He is deaf, but content to communicate through sign language or messages scribbled on a pad of paper. Obliquely, he explains that he does additional work for an organisation unaffiliated with the government, which has an urgent need for up-to-date reports on other parts of Albion. Its patrons will pay for such intelligence to be brought to them rather than the Ministry. What's more, he implies, earning the organization's trust might open the possibility of additional work. So we can deliver port reports to the stalwart bookkeeper in order to go against Her Majesty. I don't think there's much we can do here, but let's see what we can actually trade for gratitude here. Savage secrets, an unlicensed chart. You can trade gratitude to win the bookkeeper's trust. I believe that would unlock a quest of some description, or we could trade favour for an invitation to Perdurance. But for now we cannot do anything, so let's leave. He nods to you and returns to his ledgers. You cross the ringing engine house with its scattered workbenches, its reek of oil, and return to the yards. Let's have a look at the Macquarie's tobacco shop. The sign over the door once read, Macquarie's and Son, fine tobacco. But since then, someone has crossed out the word fine in a fit of honesty. Then, on a separate, more ominous occasion, they have crossed out and Son. The building is embarked on a rapid descent into squalor. The paint peels, the windows are caked with grime. Oh, let's inspect the wares. Macquarie watches suspiciously as you examine his shelves. The selection is unimpressive, as is the quality. Neither Albion nor the Reach has found a genuinely good replacement for tobacco, though increasingly frantic smokers have tried lighting up virtually every example of sky flora that has been discovered. A few skyfarers mill about, examining the lower grade flavours and speculating on exactly what Macquarie is cutting them with today. More expensive brands are untouched in their glass cases. You wonder how this place managed to stay open if it weren't for the fact it is so obviously on the brink of closure, and probably collapse. Well, there's nothing we can do here by the looks of things, so we shall return to the yards, out of the dry into the oppressive damp. You make your way through the smog, which glows with the amber light of the distant clockwork sun. Okay, well, let's go see if we can find the Brabazon Workworld. Is there any upgrades we could do to our ship here? I could get the canning device here. I can't use it, it requires 25 irons. Well, isn't that just horrendously disappointing? I could get a saying. We keep coming across a saying stuff. Cupboards also require iron. I could get cabins. The wit and vinegar winch and pulley. Plus 8 hold. Ooh, that could be really good. Named for a former business partner, this ingenious contraption allows to greater depths in your hold. The grasping mechanical claw is very satisfying. Everyone wants a go. The ratty baggage handlers. Where do you want it, Captain? Overbody ammunition? Terrible idea. Look, just give it here. Me and the lads will put it away properly. Just you keep the cheese coming. Plus 11 hold? Oh my god. For 1,880. That's a lot of money. How much money do I have? 2,290. I am horribly tempted to pick up something like the Jubilee. Up, my Britons, on my chariot, on my chargers, trample them under us. An eruption of hateful radiance with a light homing ability. It can be detonated remotely with enormous power. It must be mounted in a large weapon slot. I don't think we have a large weapon slot, do we? Slot. I think we have 2 smalls, which is just incredibly upsetting. We won't be buying that. I am tempted by the mines, though. Oh, we can't use them, huh? Okay, never mind. Can't afford the engine. That requires a bigger crew. So, the question is, do I want to buy the assaying device? Which we have space for. Or do I want to buy the ratty baggers? Which I quite like the name of. Ah, yes, they both go in the same slot, don't they? Then I guess we also have the mining array there. Shall we go with the ratty baggers, I think. I think the extra hold in a ship that already has really high hold capacity is glorious. We have 26 now. Okay, that's used up most of my money, which is probably really bad, let's be honest. Let's buy 2 supplies, 2 fuel. We have plenty of space. Let's see if we can find the Brabazon Workworld and hopefully make some money. So we know that it is somewhere over here. I didn't look at the prospects. I don't think there was anything we could do. I'm pretty sure I looked at them in the last episode. Maybe. I don't remember. I remember I had to end the episode early because of some construction work that is still kind of ongoing outside the house, but it's apparently quiet right now, so it doesn't really matter. Nothing to worry about. I don't know how many times they can fix the same road, but I'm sure there'll always be one more time. And it'll always be at the most inconvenient time possible. Because that's how it goes. Right, I'm hoping that it's here, which means I probably should go down south. At least Big Ben made it to the skies, huh? Means the Parliament's around here somewhere. I remember last time I played, I spent a long time trying to find the Parliament. For some reason, I just couldn't find it, no matter where I looked. Very annoying. In the end, it ended up being somewhere over here, but it's probably moved. I don't know how much of Albion is randomly generated. I'm assuming the same as everything else. Hey, look, a pirate. A marauder. Let's take him down. I missed. Oh. It is an Albion Marauder. They are slightly more powerful than the old Reach buddies. How are you still going? Good lord. There we go. The Marauders are those who defy, or have been excluded from, Albion's authority. Leaderless raiders, homeless exiles, pirates, dissidents, and criminals. We can either raid the safe. It has survived the volleys of your guns, or we can break into the captain's cabin. On Albion's fringes, the Marauder captains rule their engines like tyrants. 40% chance of success. With our irons. Let's try it. Hey, we succeeded. The captain's cabin is decorated with grisly trophies. Plates of cantankerous carapace, mangled engine nameplates, the severed head of a treasured rival. A scuffed safe concealed under the bed holds a careful ration of ours. The captain's surety for her old age. No use to her now. My barrel of unseasoned hours, thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. Right, let's go through under this bridge. I don't like having barrels of unseasoned hours on my ship though. It always ends badly. It always pop. That was not... That was not under the bridge. Bloody hell. Oh, hello, another one. Oh my, they have so much health. Ooh, we can repair our ship, or we can gain some unusual cargo. Let's loot the hold, let's gain some unusual cargo. An aromatic casket. Something has been preserved. A caddy of dried tea. Dried tea leaves. Your crew gathers round. An argument breaks out over the provenance of the blend. Over the provenance and blend. Fetch a kettle. Okay, I could have stopped that happening, but my hand was in the wrong place on the keyboard. Just be thankful we didn't strafe into the wall. Okay, should we send out the bat? We're going to get over here to the bottom of the world. Send out the bat. What can you find for me? Yep, there's a dock down there. Let's see if we can get down there. The Brabazon Workworld. Or Brabazon? You know, I've never actually thought about saying... I've said it one way, and I've always said it that way, but I've never actually thought whether it's correct. Oh dear. See, Brabazon sounds so much more likely, doesn't it? Brabazon. Such efficiency, such moral apathy. My people should be taking notes. Oh yeah, it's little niece. You got like the really nice side where all the wardens live, and then you have the horrible side where all of the workers are, and then you have the bit in between, which is where we are right now. The officials of Brabazon never bothered to formally name this waypoint. Captain's dock here to pick up goods or deliver workers. It is not a place to linger because of the proximity to the accelerated time of the Workworld. Brabazon Workworld, the first Workworld to be established in Albion. Wait, really? Was that not Hybris? Oh wait, no, Albion, of course. Hybris is in the Reach. Working here, debtors can escape prison. They remain till their debts are repaid and a ticket away has been funded. The primary industry is hours processing, which has the side effect of accelerating time on the Workworld surface. The dock is between Brabazon Workworld and Little Nice, where the more privileged overseers reside. The dock is, for Captain's sake, nearer Little Nice than the Workworld. Unexpected aging would deter even the greediest captain from arriving. So we can either travel to Little Nice, we can join a tour of the Brabazon Workworld. With the right forms, you can requisition hours. The tour guide can use those to ensure you remain safe. Or we can, and that's using our ministry stamp permit, if we use our barrel of unseasoned hours. A neatly printed sign offers tours of Brabazon. Witness the worthy work of Albion's unfortunates, blessed with toil. Near it, several well-dressed personages are gathered in a tight group. Occasional guffaws arise above the chatter. Or we can join using... Oh. I don't know what this uses. The Overseer requires information. No one can be sentenced to the Workworld without there first being evidence of a crime. We can attempt to converse with the Overseer, or we can deliver the Sequencer's care package, which is the reason we are actually here. When you explain the nature of your delivery to the Overseers, some appropriately downtrodden workers are summoned. What is this? Guards are not corruptible. Starshine does not help them perform their daily toil and keep others at theirs. You would most certainly not be allowed to join a tour in exchange for it. What is Starshine? I've never seen that before. Okay, well, let's deliver the care package while we're here. The summoned workers are exquisitely downtrodden. The Overseers take a vocal pride in having gone an extra mile on your behalf, and carefully selected the most miserable of a bad bunch. The amassed labourers shuffle their feet, apparently expecting a trick. Finally, a filth-faced man steps forward, ducking his head in greeting, and fumbles the package open. He picks out one of the bow tie manuals and stares at it for a while. A series of emotions pass very visibly on his face. Finally, he inclines his head and thanks you without inflection. Oh, there you go. I'm sure they will now know how to tie a bow tie, a very important lesson that we should all learn. Let's join a tour of the Workworld. Let's use our barrel of unseasoned hours here, because we're still mining those back in Lustrum, so it's probably a resource we have the most of. We ran this tour at cost, you know, says the Overseer, who collects your contribution. She hands the group over to the tour leader, who shepherds you into a side room. The tour leader hands out thick cloaks to keep off the smut. The group covers itself. The hood lends one woman, with her hair coiled up high on her head, an awkward shape and unexpected height. Satisfied, the tour leader begins a briefing. Let's receive a carriage clock. The tour leader presents you each with a carriage clock. As you know, time on the Workworld moves more velocitously than it does outside. In order to exempt you from the effects, we've had the slooms spin a fold of external hours to cover the tour. Please carry these carriage clocks. They will show you how much time your protection will last for, and please don't stray. He pauses for emphasis. It is crucial that you stay with the tour. If your time runs out, every minute it takes for us to realise could be hours for you. There is a flurry of anxious whispers. Once it has subsided, the group is led onto the Workworld. Your carriage clock ticks merrily. You have plenty of time. Your group is accompanied by 2 Overseers. The Overseer bringing up the rear is a woman in her early 30s. She checks her carriage clock compulsively. Let's admire the rugs. Our first stop on the tour of the Brabazon Rug Weaving Workshop. The Overseer beams and gestures for you to enter the building, larger than any other on the street. An attractive young worker leaps up to greet you.
This workshop was built thanks to the generosity of Lady Tyr. Please admire our beautiful handcrafted rugs and weavings exported for sale in London. Workers here gain skills that can support them for the rest of their days.
A group of workers nods and smiles at you. One stands to better display their work. Another thanks you for your visit. The youth is the last to see you out.
Perhaps I'll see you elsewhere in Albion.
Well, let's admire the rugs. You've seen rugs like this in countless homes. They are cheap, within the means of all but the poorest families. The handiwork is competent. Their predominant colours are black and gold, the Empress's favourites. Ooh, something me and the Empress have in common, hey? Lions are popular designs, and unicorns and crowns. How patriotic. Moving on from the rug workshop, the tour is directed towards a glass factory. The air is yellow with smog. Let's visit the glassworkers. A fascinating aspect of the Brabazon is the mutually beneficial relationship between the place and its workers. The overseer makes a sweeping gesture. Make note of this smog. I'll explain more inside. The building you enter is heated by vast furnaces and ovens. Workers are blowing molten glass. The smog prevents much of the sun's heat from reaching Brabazon. Without factories such as this, Brabazon would freeze. The workers keep the factories alive, the factories heat the workworld, and it becomes a pleasant place to live. Here, work enriches life. Several of the group coo in admiration. One man boasts about his Brabazon glass collection. A young lady in gaudy finery turns to you. My parents paid for the main furnace to ensure that the poor would never go without. What did you fund? We can confess that we are not one of the donors. You are a locomotive captain, traversing the wilderness, defeating horrors, delivering goods. But perhaps one day you will engage in charitable endeavours. We can declare you paid for the roof over your very heads. You don't like to boast, for acts of charity are their own reward, but you are responsible for the workers' protection from the elements. Excuse me? The lead overseer frowns. Does not bother to correct you. The young lady seems crestfallen. I suppose that is quite useful. Her bright smile is abrupt. That means you're very wealthy. Are you married? My brother is highly eligible. He's met Her Renewed Majesty, you know. Wonderful. We gain 2 salon-stewed gossip. The tour moves on through the upper layers of the Brabazon, towards a refinery that belches heat like a dying dragon. Peer through the window at the hour refiners. Please line up here. That's it, the overseer indicates alongside a long, low window. It has been recently cleaned to a shine. Inside, hard-working souls refine raw hours imported from the Reach. After this process, they may be spun in hour looms and put to use. He taps his carriage clock as an example. The refinery is clamouring, roaring space of long benches, sweating workers and rolling smoke. The overseer explains. The geodes contained in the hours are cracked open, and the fibrous strands of salt-like time are separated with small chisels and saws. Men and women do the former work, children the latter. The filaments are then passed through a series of furnaces to remove impurities, which are in turn brushed away in an indigo slush. The slush is raked to ensure not even a stray minute is lost. Once the seconds and minutes and hours are extracted, they are seasoned, taken from a very high temperature to a very low one, and back. After this, the tangled clumps, the colour of the sky just before dawn or after dusk, are carded and wound onto spools in long filaments. The overseer raps sharply on the window. As one, the nearby workers look up, smile and wave. We can hurry off after the rest of the tour. They have moved on swiftly. If you are separated from the tour, you might not be able to find your way back. We can linger and watch after the tour moves on. What do they do when they haven't got an audience? Let's stick with the tour for now. The lead overseer is all concern and smiles when you rejoin the group. Given his care now, it's odd he didn't check you were still with them when they moved on. Perhaps what matters is only what can be reported back. Leaving the refinery behind, you turn through the streets towards the ceaseless ring of hammers. A short walk, and you enter a dusty yard. We can watch the rock breaking. The tour leader adopts a noble frown. Unfortunately, not all work on Brabazon can be creatively fulfilling. We also produce raw components like gravel and aggregates. You have looped back to a yard near the bit between. The second overseer is already there. Men and women, hard with muscle, bright with sweat, are breaking rocks with sledgehammers. They wear vests and breeches with cloth masks to keep out the worst of the dust. We equip our workers with safety gear, just in case prolonged exertion in this air might prove unpleasant. As you can see, the regular exercise ensures they are strong and healthy. Many leave Brabazon with athletic inclinations and pursue fitness as a profession. A stout gentleman with a monocle slides up to you.
This whole place is just marvellous, eh? Kept busy while paying off debts, given new skills and education. Simply marvellous.
We can either agree, why not? Marvellous, the very word. We can equivocate. Well, on one hand, yes, on the other hand, no. And on the third hand, we can state that you are repulsed by the whole thing, and you have had enough of this fast tour. Let's equivocate, let's stay in the middle for now. His eyebrow raises so far that his monocle falls.
There's always something better. That's easy to say.
Do you have any suggestions for exactly what? He swells with hurt pride.
I donate what I can, and I come to this ghastly place to ensure it's well spent. What more do you want?
Come on, the overseer is gesturing at you angrily. We can't waste another moment. We have to leave, now. It's important we return in plenty of time, so I'm afraid we'll have to end the tour here. The lead overseer circles the group, shepherding the huddle through the doors, back to the bit between. The second overseer takes a head count. A poor one, for she double counts twice before giving up. Nevertheless, she signals her partner to go ahead. I hope you appreciated our little tour, and we shall pass your thanks on to the workers of Brabazon. Perhaps when they've paid off their debts, you'll see them again. The overseer shakes the hands of the most prominent donors. Of course, this entire endeavour is thanks to your generosity, he murmurs to them. While the group preens, he collects the carriage clocks. The overseer who takes your spent carriage clock draws you aside. You're a skyfarer, aren't you? We've need of someone without official connections to the governor to help us with a delicate matter. Well, I can listen to the request. We need someone who isn't one of the sponsors. There are unsavoury individuals on Brabazon Workworld. They inveigle others to do their work so that they might have the time to plot. They are fomenting unrest, shakes his head. It won't do. It just makes the other workers unhappy. Next time, see if you can sneak away from the tour. I hear their leader is looking for outside assistance. He winces. For once, time is on their side. They have so long to plan relative to us. If you hear anything, pass it to me. I'll be around here. So we can suggest he does it himself. You're a visitor to this place. What the people do here is none of your concern. We can tell him to go to the blazes. This place is an abomination. Revolution. That's what he hints at. Could only be for the best, which I believe we did last time. My last playthrough, we skirted revolution. Make no promises. We won't reject him outright. Is he offering anything in return? Will you make it worth your while? Or we can accept with apparent delight. The workworlds are vital to London's industry. They keep debtors out of prison. Revolutionaries here are fools. Let's make no promises. Thank you. Wasn't hoping for anything more definite. He smiles, but it's not a happy one. I'll be putting a case to the governor. I'll make sure you are paid for any information that helps us quell unrest. Helps us keep the workers happy. Shakes your hand. Thank you. Come back to me if you hear anything. I'll be around. Okay. Well, after having that tour of the Workworld, I think this is where I'm going to end this episode. A very interesting place. There is a lot more to do here, and I believe we'll be coming back many times. But either way, thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you again to the members of the channel. It really does help keep the channel alive. It is the best way to support me, and I really do appreciate it. But as always, see you next time.